Good morning, Delray Beach. We are here at the new and improved Barwick Park.
Yes, it looks totally different from when I used to come here as a kid.
Well, it used to be the big yellow park, my daughter knew it as, and she'd ask all the time since she was little, I want to go to the big yellow park. And then one day we came and it was gone. And the hysterics that this park was gone. However, then we started seeing some action, like they were doing something.
You're doing some work.
And they did an incredible job. We came this weekend, Jamal.
I can't wait to hear how this whole design and everything came about. I can't wait to hear that.
It is like one of the coolest parks I've ever seen. And when I tell you, we were here Sunday. We're like, oh, we'll go for a couple minutes. We couldn't drag her out. And the kids were playing together, helping each other. It's just, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, it's going to turn me into a big kid because I think I'm going to go down that slide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you better. It is so fun. And like, there's just so many things to do. But you were a big kid because you were looking at colleges with your football team. So
yes. So we.
How was that?
It was lovely. You know, we took 20 young men
you're brave.
across 4 states. We visited, I think, about 10 campuses.
Wow.
They got a chance to showcase their talent in front of over 100 football coaches, college coaches from across the country. It was lovely. You know, being around the high school, a lot of times, you know, I'm around them and I'm really tough on them because it's dealing with football. But just seeing them outside of their element, you know, back at the house when we're sleeping, you know, just the games that they play, it's just like, man, they're just kids at the end of the day. So it was a lot of fun. I'm still catching up on sleep.
Oh, I bet.
You know, from them. But I mean, thanks to a lot of the different community supporters, Chuck Halbert, Rick Burgess, Michael Coleman, Mike Grosso, Lee Cohen. I mean, all of those guys came together and actually helped support this event to make that happen. For us to take these kids, man, across
I mean, and
the
that's life-changing for a lot of kids. Like, a lot of kids don't, their parents can't take them for one reason or another to go and tour these schools, so they're missing out on these opportunities just because they can't get there.
Well, even if you think about it, a lot of these kids' parents haven't even stepped foot on campus themselves. I've been to college themselves, so it was a first-time experience for a lot of these young men, and they were wild. You know, going into the buildings, talking to the different professors, talking to a lot of the coaches about college life, talking to kids there. They learned a lot. They really learned a lot.
I mean, you guys every day are changing the lives of these boys, and I think it's so important how much work you do off the field as well as on the field, because it really, I mean, these kids are never going to be the same for better because of all the things that you guys are exposing them to and giving them these opportunities. And I think what we talk about every week here is how beautiful our community is and how many people step up to help one another. And like you named a handful of people, and I'm sure there's a million more behind the scenes that are, you know, constantly being part of this team and shaping the lives of these young men.
Listen, I can't, you know, as I'm sitting down doing the plans, there's a lot of work to make it happen. But at the end of the day, once you go, I'm tired, but I'm drained. I haven't caught up, you know. So I took a look at. I took a look at in the van that we rented through Enterprise. It told me, say you've been driving. It tells you, it calculates how many hours. It said 58 hours of driving, and listen.
You were the driver?
I was the driver.
But you were the driver, you were the chaperone.
Everything, you know, so.
You babysitter.
Jamal. I have a little case of narcolepsy, so I'm just more of a.
Oh my God. Well, you had 20 of them to shake you.
I told the boys, I say, every hour along this trip, I will be stopping. We'll stop at a rest area, and it's like, why is Coach out there doing back pedals and running and doing jumping jacks? I'm trying to wake myself up. But I went through, Red Bull got a lot of money out of me. Just know that. You know,
he needs a sponsorship.
I went through about 20 Red Bulls. I know that's not right, but that's not healthy.
Right.
But
Don't do that at home, kids.
But anyways, listen, I think we should go ahead and bring on.
We have so many incredible guests today.
Yes, we do.
So you want to bring on the first one?
Yeah, let's bring on the first one. This man I have a lot of respect for. He's doing a wonderful job with our Parks and Rec department. I love him and his staff. Let's bring on Mr. Sam Meatot. He's our director of Parks and Recreation.
Welcome. Welcome. Good. We're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me today.
Well, we've been gushing about your park here.
Yes, thank you very much.
She's a beauty.
Oh, I'm very, very attached to this. It's a special project.
So Sam, I think it was a couple years. I don't know how many years ago, but this park was something else. It was brand new. It was like a weightlifting. They had a whole workout park and everything going on.
It's still back there.
It's still over there?
Yeah, it absolutely is. In fact, it's right behind this playground. There's some natural tree canopy there, and then behind that is the workout station. We had a group of young women from Atlantic High that partnered with us, and they brought us out and designed an outdoor fitness center. There's since been shade, so if you take a walk around this, you're going to see that's even now shade canopy over that playground or that fitness area.
Right.
And what's really cool is you see people using it. Because like we'll come to the park with our daughter and you see people, like groups of people doing exercises. And it's awesome because you're seeing people of all different ages coming here and using this facility in a very different way.
Yeah, and in fact, I don't know if everybody realizes that this part of West Delray is actually very, very diverse. So it's no surprise to come here. You see moms pushing strollers, you see seniors taking their walk, you see people from all shapes, sizes, and everything working out in the fitness center. There's a little bit of everything here at this park, and that's what kind of makes this a cool place.
So with this design, you know, I know you probably, there's so many millions of designs of playgrounds out there. What stood out about this one here?
So it starts with this. We've undergone in the last 5 years or so an entire playground initiative to bring in safe, cool, fun, and shape to our playground system. And everybody knows we have over 25 playgrounds in Delray. It's a lot of playgrounds. They're all over. So then it brings in, what are we bringing in each one? So what this offered us is an opportunity to bring in something so different and so cool. And that's kind of been our initiative with all of it, is every playground's unique. You're not going to see the new playground systems that are your standard slide,
Swing,
monkey
and
bars.
seesaw.
Now that stuff's in here. It just looks different, right? It's in there, but it looks different.
It's just a whole lot cooler. Like, look, you could see, like, even behind us, these kids playing. Like, there's the ropes that swing that are kind of like monkey bars. I mean, it's a really cool park.
Yeah. So the idea is this concept called destination playground, and that is making a playground so cool that it's worth putting your kids in the car in the morning and driving there, and you're making that the activity for the morning, not we're going to the park and we'll let them play on the playground while they're there. It's actually, that's the destination, is the playground. And that concept kind of changes the way you put it in, what you look for in playgrounds, and you end up with something that impressive. In fact, there's only 5 others in the world of this playground model.
Yeah, I heard Commissioner Boylston bring that up on one of his videos, saying that this is one of a kind, you know. So
It's
I think that is really.
beautiful.
I remember when I was in 4th or 5th grade, Veterans Park had a new playground built. The whole wood there, I think it caught on fire now. There's a whole new playground there. But that was really a destination for us. We used to look forward going to that playground. But I think what you guys have done with a lot of the playgrounds, especially at Merritt Park, I mean, with the turf, I think it's one of the coolest things ever, and then you come up with this design. So I didn't think you can outdo yourself, but now you outdid yourself.
They certainly did.
This park here.
I think you picked on something very important there. Is Merritt Park was one of our first projects in that. Thank you to CRA for all their support on that project. It's so uniquely different. If you drive by, it doesn't look like a playground. It has no swings, slides. It's an obstacle course, so it's a fitness element, it's an athletic element, and it allows kids to climb and run and jump in a way that normal playgrounds wouldn't, right? So it's just the point of every playground being so uniquely different and touching.
So it's almost that bait and switch tactic, because you know, kids, you want to get the kids to put down the video games, and they don't know they're getting a little fitness workout out on the playground too. So
get them outside.
I mean, I'm out there, you know, randomly watching the Delray Rocks practice, and it's flooded with kids, you know, at the parks. I mean, all I've heard is people talking about this playground as well. But this is great for this part of the community and these neighborhoods around this area. So you guys did a wonderful job with the design in the shade.
That's what I was going to say. The shade
is a big plus. I know the parents really love that part.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of it. So when the sun moves, as a parent, you can kind of move around the thing with it.
Absolutely.
And it's great because you're not out there sweating to death while you're playing with your kid or watching. I mean, we all are a little bit. Let's be real. It's Florida and it's the summer. But I mean, you do a great job. And between the trees, you have the natural shade, and then you have all the beautiful sails. I mean, you guys really thought of everything. When was your official ribbon cutting?
We just did the ribbon cutting last Friday, actually.
Okay, so it is brand new. Because we kept watching it come up, because we live more west, so we kept watching it. And like we saw when the pieces were down, and Stella kept saying, when's it open? And I was like, oh, we tried on Sunday. I was like, I don't know, maybe I think it's open. I was like, please be open. And it was, and like, you had so many kids out here. So many kids, all ages, helping each other, playing with each other. Like, and what I think is really cool, if you see here, Jamal, look, so it's like little, bigger, biggest. That one's for you up there. I go on the baby one. And like, that one scares me. But it is, so you have kids of all ages can kind of go and play and be comfortable and have something to do.
Absolutely, and you touched on another great point, and that is what you're referring to in the playground world. It has smaller features that's closest to us. It's a 2 to 5. So you build 2 to 5 features separately, a 5 to 12, and then what you then have is a tower or a specialty unit. And that tower, you're almost 35 feet in the air.
35, that's a big slide.
And it looks impressive now when you walk over. To get up this tower, you're gonna have to go up the cargo net, climb the ladder into the smaller pod, through an obstacle course to the
doing
top pod and then down the slide.
You might
so
get-
you have to earn your right to
stuck
have
in there,
fun.
Jamal. I don't know. That's for little children. You're a big man.
I am a
No,
little,
he's gonna be
I'm
fine.
a little bowling ball.
What do we
you
do?
know,
I
I'm
had
a
to
little
test it
round.
myself.
Good thing we have the
Sure,
fire
okay.
department here to help get him out if he gets stuck in the slide.
Just put some Crisco or cooking oil down the slide to help me slide right
You're
through.
gonna go plenty fast. You're fine.
No, it's really cool. And you saw teenagers out there too. Like they were. I mean, I don't know the bigger kids, but
Now that we're talking
age,
about the
but
slides, I gotta mention this because there's been a lot of questions. A lot of people said, "How are you putting a metal slide in South
Yeah.
Florida?"
And then
And you see it; it's a lot of metal.
It's insulated, I'm guessing.
It's extremely thick metal, number one, so it just doesn't conduct heat. Everybody thinks of those old slides when we were kids.
Oh, man.
going down that thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The other thing to remember is this is a tube. So
Yeah.
where your body touches never gets direct sunlight. So it keeps that temperature
yeah.
much cooler. And then you'll see when you get over there, both slides have what we fully concrete slide exits. It's a new concept.
That's
and that's
cool.
exactly for that. So that as you come out, you're on a concrete slab that doesn't absorb that kind of heat.
Oh,
so
I like
It's
that.
really
it's a nice
cool.
design concept that allows us to do that.
So with this park, because I know a lot of parents, when they're looking at plan like birthday parties or whatever, a lot of times they want to be at a park that's just going to keep the kids busy. How do they go about if they want to have a birthday party here? What do they have
I mean,
to do?
look at this
You got a nice
beautiful pavilion.
Yep. You can just call our parks department. We rent the pavilion out for parties all the time. We allow bounce houses. There's so much here, as you mentioned. Open space allows for bounce houses, kickball, throwing a ball around. There's over 1.5 miles of nature trails in here. There's nature trails all back through here. There's a resting nook in the back with a butterfly garden, a fitness
So
trail. So there's a little bit of everything. It's a great, it's almost the ideal place to have a
Yes.
birthday party.
No, I totally
Absolutely.
agree. So in Parks and Rec, it's really one body with many moving parts. So what are some other great things that's happening in the other, branches of Parks and Rec that's coming up?
Yeah, I think it's important to mention that, like I said, this is kind of the crown jewel right now, but
Yeah.
it's one of many in this playground initiative. So if I can just stay on playgrounds for a second, we've done some really amazing projects. I think we were talking earlier about Curry Commons.
can't
If
wait
you
to
haven't
check
been
that
to
one
Curry
out. I haven't
Commons,
been
I haven't been there yet. I haven't
the
seen
new
it.
playground there is just uniquely cool. It's called an internal climber. You climb in the bottom as a kid and you climb up it.
That's
It's about
cool.
2.5 stories up in the air. It's really,
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
real high.
We have the new playground at Merritt, Anchor Park, Orchard View. We've come through, and this is the other part that you mentioned is bringing in shade to Mike Maycheck Park, bringing in shade to the playground at Pompeii. That project should be done here in a couple of days, actually.
Oh, wow.
We have shade coming to Catherine Strong Park. We have a whole new playground project for Pine Grove in the works for next year. So
Nice.
really
You
touching
guys are
every
busy.
community, trying to redo these.
Well, I like that you guys are updating
Yes,
a lot of
I
the
do
parks
too.
and everything, because it's great to walk around and see things that have just say transformed from when I was a kid. I'm like, that means people are working. That's what that means. People are working. They're really investing the money into the community, and it's coming back.
And you mentioned the other side, so there's really an unsung hero in our department. He grew up right here on Southwest 7th. His name's Synovian Stevens. He's gonna be so mad at me, but he deserves a lot of credit because these playground projects they're one element, right? But every time we do one, he's a superintendent of park maintenance. He comes in with so many unique different upgrades to the park. For example, when you go over toward the building there, all of the planting is butterfly garden material. So as you walk around, you're gonna see literally thousands of butterflies, and he does one of those projects at each one of our playgrounds, and he's the one that makes sure the grounds are always put
Maintained.
back the way they need to be
Yeah.
after a big project like
Yeah.
this, but then maintained well. And he's just doing a phenomenal job, and he's a big part of this planning process of what's next and how to get through it. We're doing a complete resod project at our sports field up at Seacrest Hilltopper. So the football team's gonna have a whole new turf field this year. So that's his role, and he's quiet, and it's the maintenance, so it kind of stays in the background, but he is just doing an amazing job. So it's another element of the Parks Department that we do.
And that's one thing I have to say is like you never have really long grass here, so you don't have to worry about the kids running through. You go to some parks and some other places, and the grass is up to your ankles, and they're running through it, and especially with little ones, that comes up to real high on them, and it's always beautifully maintained here. There's never trash anywhere. Like you guys do a beautiful job, not just of building, but to your point of maintaining once it is there.
I can say, even knowing those guys in the park maintenance department, they really take pride in their community. A lot of them are from here, and they grew up and raised, and they played in a lot of these parks around this area. So I know they take a lot of pride in the work that they're doing and really maintaining these parks. So that's really good.
Thank you for everything that you and your team are doing for all of us
Yes, I
here.
agree. Is there anything else in regards to Parks and Rec that you guys, I know you guys are doing a lot.
They're
man.
always doing stuff. They have all kinds of things they're up to.
Yes.
The only thing I would say is follow us on social media. There's always something going on. We have a whole slate of activities. We're joining with the CRA for Juneteenth celebration all weekend long. Basketball game on Friday and a walk on Saturday.
Amazing.
All kinds of details there. We could take up a whole section talking about what a great
Yeah.
weekend. We just came off of a Pride Festival this past weekend. We're doing free concerts at the park. So follow us on social media. Follow all of your elements because there's so much going on that you want to get in there, make sure you're getting that information because there's a lot going on.
Are you playing in a basketball game?
I'm actually supposed to. I'm leaving. I got to go out of town.
Oh, he did that on purpose.
I did.
Man, that trip, he's like, oh, gotta go.
We have PD and FD. They don't know how much trouble they are. The Parks team is going to be all right.
All right.
That was good, man. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, you
Thank you.
too. Amazing.
Yes.
And I have to say, with their Pride Festival, it was raining and people were still out and
No, I seen the
celebrating.
video. I seen people standing in
The
the street.
rain didn't stop anybody, and I
Yeah.
think that's Delray Beach for us. We're
Yes.
like, we're not going to let any rain, any heat stop our festivities here.
Yes. So we introduce our next guest.
Well, now we have 3 guests coming on. So we have Gary, Lieutenant from the Delray Beach Police Department, Renee, the Executive Director from the Delray Beach CRA, and Ed, the Battalion Chief C Shift, Delray Beach Fire Rescue. Hi,
on.
guys. This is a very official bunch coming on. Are you able to? We're going to snuggle like we're on the playground, guys. Yeah, I know. I'm like sweaty, so I apologize. It's getting warm out here in the South Florida summer. So you guys are all a very busy group. You have a lot going on all the time, and you still make time to be part of Leadership Delray and change this community. So how did you guys get involved, and what made you say, I'm gonna do another thing on top of your already busy workloads?
I think for us at the fire department, Fire Chief Tommy wants us to be embedded in the community. He wants us to be interacting with folks outside of just emergencies. So I think it's important that we get involved and kind of, meet everybody outside of those emergency incidents. So that's where we kind of jumped on board.
Well, I have to say, as a kid, still to this day, one of my favorite things was when the fire truck would come to school and we all got to meet the firefighters. It's especially with a small community like we have here. I mean, we think of it as big because we're kind of wide as a community, but we're a small little community. And I think you guys showing up really says something to all the community members and the kids. Look, it's not, you guys are doing a lot more than just when there's a fire or an emergency, and I think that is really important.
No, I agree. So with Leadership Delray, there's a lot of new people that's coming to our town that moved here and that may be watching. I'm a graduate of Leadership Delray myself. Why don't you guys talk about what Leadership Delray is and some of the activities that you guys are doing for the people that don't know what Leadership Delray is?
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you an opportunity to not only meet the people in your class from all different facets of the city and even the county, really build awesome relationships, a lot of networking, and also learning about the city, the operation of the city. I've worked for the city for 15 years, and things just kind of happen, but you get to go in the background and kind of see how it happens and meet the people that make it happen every day. And it's really been an awesome, awesome experience. We even went out to the farms in Belglade, and we're in the muck and watching the farmers put seedlings in the ground and then all the way up until it getting packaged and shipped off. Never expected it. Nothing I ever thought I would be interested in, but what an experience. Absolutely an amazing experience.
My most memorable experience with Leadership Delray is going to the water treatment plant here in Delray and just seeing what happens with our water from when it's either flushed down the toilet, what that cycle that it goes through and everything until it comes back out and end up in your drinking glass. Just looking at that cycle and how, and it's just meticulous and how these guys over there are geniuses that work in that water plant.
Yeah.
So that was one of my most memorable things. What's some of your most memorable experiences that you guys have experienced so far?
Well, I think not just seeing behind the scenes at the city and the county, but there's also leadership training, right? It's Leadership Delray. So the first class, we had someone come in to talk about personality. And that helps you in your day-to-day work and your interaction with other people. So I thought that was really stand out to have that capacity brought to us, to learn more about us, to who we are, and how to interact with people.
So have you guys seen or learned anything that you got to go and do the farming, which you didn't expect? Is there anything that you've experienced so far in the program that you were like, wow, like I didn't know this was happening, or right here?
We did a day where we went to Historic Society and also Speedy Museum. And after having that experience and learning about the history of Delray as one of the night shift commanders of the police department, I canceled all briefings one day and brought all the officers there to kind of learn about the history.
Huge.
This way the officers can relate better to a lot of the residents and also promote that and tell people go visit these locations.
That's really special. And we filmed at Speedy, 3 weeks ago now?
Every time I go there, I learn
And
something.
every time, yeah, you were. I feel like you were there.
I know, it's just
Every time that we go there, like it's just you learn so much about the beautiful history of this town and how many people are so proud to share the history. And so I think for you bringing your guys there, like what a great experience to hear firsthand about these beautiful stories that happened right here.
Sure.
Another thing too, they have the art walk. I thought that was really interesting. So one of the days we walked through all the different murals that are outside. It was a little hot, but you just don't see it. Driving in your car or just speeding to where you're coming to and from, you don't realize how many murals there are all over Delray.
And also the art that the CRA has put up. So that was about a year ago now, Renee? And they did a beautiful job of putting all of the artists and residents that from the Arts Warehouse
outside.
Yeah. So during COVID, you couldn't come to the building. So the CRA took that step to put the art outside so people could still get to experience our artists here in town. And I think that's really another cool thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're an artsy place. It's
Everyone
all
talks
over.
about how Delray is such an art scene, and it's being taken one step further. And I think it's cool that they're showing all of you that in leadership, because I think a lot of times, and I sound like a stereotypical artist, a lot of times, like people don't realize the art community that's happening in a town unless you're in it. And I think that's really cool that they realized in the programming how important that is to our town here.
Yeah, and another thing too that we did with our leadership class, they brought in all of the former mayors.
Oh,
And we had a nice lunch, and we were able to speak to them about some of their challenges when they were the mayor of the city and some of the great things that they see. I mean, that was a wonderful conversation as well.
Cool.
I think at that time Suzanne Spencer was our leader over Leadership Delray. But as you were saying, I met a lot of people, man, and I've created some long-lasting friendships with everybody that was in that group. How do you get involved with it? How do you get involved and let everyone know how you get involved? What do they have to do to get involved?
If they want to be part of it.
Yeah.
Website, the website. I believe it's the chamber has a sign-up list. They put their schedule out, so that it's open for everybody to kind of submit their application to attend.
So you don't have to be like a city organization then. You could be a business owner
Business
or
owners. There's a bunch of business
resident.
owners here, and that gives us another opportunity to get some face time with them, so they can see what we can do for them and then what they can do for us, and kind of establish those great relationships as a tenant area was talking about.
I'm telling you, if you're new to Delray Beach and you just want to get involved in some way, shape, or form, or you want to learn more about what's happening in this community and how things happen, this is the perfect group, a perfect activity, a perfect thing to really get involved with Leadership Delray. I don't know the date range when they're starting a new class, but just get in touch with the people at the chamber, and they'll really guide you in that right direction.
Yes, I was saying, one of the really cool things, once we became a member of Leadership Delray, we get on the email list for the chamber, and we're getting all these great emails of all these awesome events that are happening from, there's like a youth or a young adult. The
YPAD.
The YPAD. There's a chamber event coming up at Warren out in West Delray on the 21st.
It was from the men's, what is it called?
core.
The core.
Yep.
Yes.
See, you asked and you received.
Yes.
He kept getting upset because we're all the women's only events.
So listen, that came about because every episode of our show, there was something coming on about women empowerment.
Focus on women.
Focus on women. Everyone like, can the men come in and do something, or what's going on? And I guess, Lynn sent an email out to a few men in the community and said, hey, do you guys want to take reign on this? And Sean actually jumped in, and Chuck Halbert. A lot of people jumped in and said, let's make it happen.
So of course they're going to drink whiskey and network over there.
So I mean, that's the best. The women, you guys go and drink wine. And
true.
you know, so-
Why not
like
shop?
and then, you know, Warren is probably one of the best spots in the city too. But yeah, that's how that came about. But I agree, the events
cool.
that take place are
No,
wonderful.
a lot of great events, a lot of great network. And again, it's about meeting people in the community and meeting the business leaders and other people that make everyday life happen. So
Yeah.
it's been awesome. It really has been awesome.
So talking about events, what events do the police department have coming up?
Right. You know what? We got our big National Night Out event at Old School Square. Is on Tuesday, August 2nd,
Okay.
from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's the event. It's kind of an all-city event where we draw approximately 3,000 people.
Yeah.
We just ordered 800 backpacks the other day. Yeah, we're gonna pack them with school supplies. We're working on trying to get a band out there. We got bounce houses and all sorts of other community resources. We invited a lot of our federal partners from the Department of Justice, the FBI, Secret Service,
Amazing.
to come out and meet, meet the community and engage. So we're really, really looking forward to that.
I think that's really neat that you did that too, because I think a lot of times those organizations, everyone's like, oh, they're so secretive and like, who are they? So showing, here are people in our community that are working behind the scenes to keep all of us safe. I think really, it speaks to what you guys are doing in our department here to really build awareness and build that partnership and community between residents and
Yeah, it's all about
Officials.
transparency. I mean, you know, when you hear some of those, like the Department of Justice, and, you know, people don't like that sometimes.
sounds scary.
But we work with them all the
Yeah.
time, and it's good for them to be able to give their point of view, you know, and people have that conversation
Yeah.
about what's going on outside of Delray Beach. So we're looking forward to it.
And you always have a million events with the
Busy,
CRA. You guys
yes.
are busy, busy, busy.
Very busy, but the one I will really highlight is Juneteenth weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So there's community groups that got together a few months ago and started doing calls about planning different activities. So we were at staff were kind of listening. We're like, there's a lot going on, you know, and we don't want people to get confused of go here, not there. So we came up with the Juneteenth roadmap.
It's amazing.
That includes all types of activities, I believe starting tonight through Sunday, really. There's all activities happening around Juneteenth. Most notably for the CRA, we have our Authors Speak series that's happening Thursday night at the Arts Garage. So that's on the flyer as well, featuring a fantastic author who's going to be speaking just about these racial issues. That was the whole reason we brought this together, as an education component. So definitely check out the roadmap. Also, Arts Warehouse has tons and tons of classes happening. There's actually one person on this seat here that has a class coming up, and who can guess who that is?
I volunteer. Yes.
So Annapurna does have a
I
class.
do a cooking class.
Yeah, we do. That would be fun, actually. And so we have. There's a live drawing class.
Drawing class coming
so you
up.
can draw with a model, like so. And you, for all these classes too, you don't have to be an expert. It's
Right.
all ages and levels. I'm doing earring making workshop on the 25th. We do still have art walk
Yes.
over the summer. What is Grace calling it?
Summer Fridays.
Summer Fridays. So the
yes.
first Friday of every month from
Yes.
6 to 9. You can see the artists. Cheapest drinks in town, guys. $7 for a glass of wine at the Arts Warehouse. Yeah, it's a great night out. You get to see art, meet community members, and just have a nice time in air conditioning.
Yes, but one thing that's not air conditioning is the Green Market. So that's still, like, we're picking that up for the summer. That's every Saturday at the Old School Square Park. We recently started working with the SNAP program. So if you have your SNAP dollars, come and bring it out. You can spend those
That's
dollars and get
wonderful.
fresh food at the Green Market. Also, this Saturday is Crafted on the Ave. That's our small business activation at Libby Wesley Plaza from 2 to 6. So
Amazing.
I think that's enough. I could go on, but yeah.
We're listening long, but you should go. So once again, to check out the CRA's
out the
website,
yes.
the Arts Warehouse
Arts
website,
Warehouse,
because
yes.
you'll see all of the different activities. And you can't say there's nothing to do, because if you can't, you just did not look at their website. Because there's something like every day, I feel
Yes.
like. And what do you guys have going on?
Fire department has a few things going on. We like to join in with PD on National Night Out and piggyback on a few of those events. Same with parks. We're going to be playing in the basketball tournament with PD and FD. We're going to be teaming up and working together to go against parks. So we'll see what happens there.
Make sure you guys bring your med bag. So I think it's
This is a tough choice. My wife works for parks, so I don't really know who to root for. I'm still trying to figure that out. But we have that going on, and then we also have our open house coming up. It's going to be at the end of July, so if you check our social media, we'll have all of those posted there. And that's another great event where we get to kind of mingle with the community. Usually we're out there, have hot dogs and and water and bounce houses, and all of our trucks are out for the kids to play on, so Gary can get up there and kind of live his dream of being a fireman. So all of that's going on at the end of the July, and just check our social media and you'll be able to see all.
So fun.
Yes, I didn't even know about the basketball game, but I think that's really going to be
so
so
much
cool.
fun. Can people come and watch this? This is going
Absolutely,
to be.
it's Friday night. I'm not sure on the time. It'll be on the park's website.
Okay.
I want to say it's 6, but I don't hold me to that.
So are either of you playing?
I'm hanging back.
working.
I'm more of a
Working?
Water boy.
So listen, I have to tell you, this is there was a kickball game at Pompey Park, and it was involving the PD, fire department, all of the different community organizations and people that work with the city. And I think Chief Sims ended up twisting his knee or doing something. He ended up having a knee
But
surgery.
we won. That's all that matters is we won.
He really played hard for you guys that day.
You know, he did play
Oh
hard.
my
and he,
goodness, poor
But
guy.
I always mess with him when I see him. I was like, how's that knee doing, Chief? But I think it's great though to get everybody out and have the community come out and just watch and have fun.
Have
you know, that's one of those
fun.
events just to watch.
Look at all the kids, guys. I just
It's
want to
like
point
it's
out, like,
really
they're
fun.
so excited to come
Yes.
to the park.
Yes.
Sam, this has to bring you joy, seeing them all running in.
Sam actually, they jumped out of his van. He timed it perfect. But is there anything else that you guys want to share either about Leadership Delray or anything about your individual departments that's taking place?
I think thanks for having us. I think it's great to be able to kind of share the lessons we're learning from Leadership Delray and be able to pass it on to other members.
Well,
of
it's
the
not only
community.
3 of y'all. Let's bring everybody else over here behind
Everybody come on in.
Everybody, let's bring them over. I mean, when you talk about relationships, so I know that you guys have built relationships with people that you probably would never have spoken to in the past. So I think this is.
Well, I think especially when you're so busy working and doing your job, sometimes you just get in the cycle of that. So this kind of shakes it up and you get to meet all these beautiful people. The current class of Leadership Delray.
I know this is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So and guess what? Thank you guys for joining us today. And all we want you guys to do is what?
Have a Delray day.
We love you.